Hi everyone, this is Shinji from Chiang Mai Longstay. This time, I left my usual home base of Chiang Mai and headed south to Krabi, a resort area on Thailand's Andaman coast. I traveled there from August 10th to 16th, 6 nights, 7 days. Krabi is famous for its emerald green sea and dramatic limestone karst cliffs. And compared to Phuket, it has a more laid-back, low-key charm. This was actually the first time I've ever planned an entire trip completely on my own. In the past, I usually relied on tours or travel agencies, but this time I arranged everything myself. Accommodation, activities, all of it. I only booked the flight through an agency. But looking back, I realize I could easily have booked that myself too. There was really no need to trust an agency and pay extra. These days, there are so many booking apps, and with AI, you can compare prices in seconds.
I honestly wish I'd done everything myself from the start.
Before we get into the day-by-day story, let me quickly map out the areas in Krabi, since I had no idea about the local geography before I went. Hopefully this helps if you're in the same boat. Krabi is roughly divided into 3 areas: Krabi Town, Ao Nang Beach, and the islands, including the famous Phi Phi Islands. First, Krabi Town, where we stayed. It sits right at the mouth of the Krabi River, so it's actually not that far from the sea. But the roads don't run straight to the coast. They wind around, so getting to the beach takes longer than you'd expect. It has a real local feel, with a night market and a weekend market, plenty of cheap local eateries, and generally low prices. If you want to hit the beach, you'll need a 20 to 30-minute taxi or tour transfer. One quirky thing I noticed walking around, there's a set of 4 prehistoric man statues perched on top of a traffic signal at an intersection. Apparently, it's a nod to ancient primate fossils discovered in the area, and it's become a fun little local landmark.
Next, Ao Nang Beach. This is Krabi's main tourist hub, packed with restaurants, cafes, and tour agencies right along the beachfront. Most island-hopping boats depart from here, so it's a convenient base if you're focused on activities, though prices tend to run higher than in Krabi Town. And then there are the islands. Phi Phi and the 4 Islands tour, reachable by day trip boat from either Krabi Town or Ao Nang. Think of these less as places to stay and more as day trip destinations. Not knowing any of this beforehand, we ended up somewhat randomly choosing Blue Monkey Hotel in Krabi Town. In hindsight, that turned out great. We got to enjoy the local vibe and cheap eats. Midway through the trip, we also stayed at Centara, which is technically in the Ao Nang area, but actually about a 15-minute walk from the beach. It's not beachfront, but it's quiet, and there are restaurants and shops along the road, so it doesn't feel isolated at all. A good pick if you want a calmer stay. Then on Thursday, we stayed at a resort right on the beach. Step outside and you're basically on the sand. Perfect if being close to the water is your priority. So, if you value local atmosphere and cheap food, go with Krabi Town. If you want easy access to activities, go with Ao Nang. And within Ao Nang, it's a trade-off between quiet, Centara style, or beachfront, resort style. We ended up experiencing all 3 types this trip, which gave us a genuinely useful side-by-side comparison. Beyond the geography, one more thing stood out: how genuinely warm the people in Krabi are. Compared to a big beach resort town like Phuket, Krabi felt far less touristy, with almost no pushy touts, and the whole town had a really relaxed atmosphere. I'd heard Krabi is popular with Thai tourists themselves, and sure enough, the locals seemed to be enjoying their own hometown at a relaxed pace. Everyone we met was kind. It's a place with a genuine human warmth to it. Monday. We flew from Chiang Mai to Krabi on Thai Air Asia, landing at 7:20 p.m. From the airport, a 250 baht taxi took us to Blue Monkey Hotel in Krabi Town for check-in.
To recover from the travel, we headed to a nearby restaurant called The River for Thailand's classic Phu Pad Pong curry, stir-fried crab curry. It used an entire crab, packed with meat. Honestly, the best version of this dish I've ever had. A fantastic way to kick off the trip. Tuesday, we hired a boat from Krabi Town for a cave sightseeing tour. 500 baht per boat, plus a light meal at a riverside restaurant. Near the cave, we even spotted some wild monkeys, which added a nice little jungle adventure feel.
After that, I found on the Agoda app that Centara Hotel was showing a relatively good rate. So instead of booking ahead, we just headed straight to Ao Nang Beach. When we asked at the front desk in person, they quoted us an even better price than Agoda's, 1,500 baht, including breakfast. So we booked on the spot. Not part of the original plan, but that kind of flexibility is exactly what makes independent travel fun.
We took a walk along Ao Nang Beach and had a light dinner, pasta, at the hotel that evening. Wednesday, we booked a private boat tour of 4 nearby islands through Centera's activities desk. 4,000 baht for the whole boat, chartered just for us. Being private meant we could set our own pace, which was great. That night, we headed back to Blue Monkey and enjoyed Phu Pad Pong curry at the river once again. Thursday, for lunch, we went to a local spot in Krabi Town called Tobiko Sushi. Honestly, one of the most memorable meals of the whole trip. I ordered the grilled mackerel teriyaki set, which came to just 160 baht, rice and miso soup included. Genuinely great food at a shockingly low price. It had that authentic set meal restaurant feel you get in Japan at a fraction of the cost. I'd absolutely stop by again next time I'm in Krabi. After lunch, we headed to a beachside resort for one night. The building itself had real resort-style luxury. The restaurant and the front desk were even in separate buildings, each its own little structure. So just walking around the property felt like a bit of an adventure. That kind of design really adds to the whole experience. The hotel had sun loungers set up right on the beach. We spent time lying there, watching the sunset, listening to the waves, doing nothing at all. That was pure bliss. It's a luxury you only get at a beachfront hotel. Thailand technically doesn't have private beaches as a legal concept, but since the beach was mostly used by hotel guests, it felt calm and quiet all the same. The next morning's breakfast at the hotel was outstanding. A genuinely lavish spread with an ocean view. Seeing that breakfast made me think the hotel restaurant's dinner would probably have been great too. The night before, we'd walked in and found only one other table occupied, which made us nervous, so we ended up eating at a Japanese restaurant outside instead. Looking back, maybe I shouldn't have judged it just by how empty it looked. By the way, this resort town had tour agency stands scattered everywhere, and that's where we booked Saturday's Phi Phi Island tour. Friday, we headed back to Blue Monkey Hotel. That's when I noticed something interesting about ride-hailing apps. Grab quoted 220 baht for a ride, while Bolt quoted 389 baht for the same route around the same time. That's a pretty big gap for the same trip. Interestingly, it's the opposite back home in Chiang Mai, where Bolt is usually the cheaper option. Curious, I looked into why. Apparently, in big cities like Chiang Mai or Bangkok, Bolt has more drivers, which drives prices down through competition. But in a smaller destination like Krabi, Bolt has fewer drivers, so with limited supply, Grab ends up being the more competitive option instead.
It's a neat reminder that the best app can flip depending on where you are. Saturday brought the highlight of the trip, the Phi Phi Island tour. It cost 3,600 baht for 2 people. We were out from 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. on a dayboat with about 30 people, passengers and crew combined. Phi Phi is world famous for good reason. Crystal clear water, coral reefs, and tropical fish. One important heads up though, the boat ride out to Phi Phi takes about an hour, and it gets rough, really rough. You'll see it mentioned online too, but seasickness and actual vomiting is genuinely common on this route. Surprisingly, neither I nor my travel companion got sick, but the elderly foreign tourist sitting right in front of us clearly wasn't doing well. Pretty rough looking by the end. If you're prone to motion sickness, I'd strongly recommend bringing seasickness medication, just in case. The snorkeling itself was only about 40 minutes, but it was genuinely spectacular. Incredibly clear water, and we could see everything from fish to sea urchins in sharp detail. Worth the trip to Krabi on its own. That night, we went back to the river for a seafood set. 1,790 baht for a plate of 5 items, including lobster, fish, squid, shellfish, and crab. We assumed that price was per person, but it turned out to be for 2. So with beer included, we still only paid a bit over 2,000 baht. Excellent value for that much seafood. Sunday, our last day, we had breakfast at a well-known dim sum spot near the hotel called Ratcharat Dim Sum. We took plenty of photos of the food, too. After that, we treated ourselves to a 90-minute Thai massage. 300 baht for an hour, 450 for 90 minutes, roughly the same price as back home in Chiang Mai, which was a nice surprise. After a coffee break nearby, we grabbed a grab at 4 p.m. to head to Krabi Airport. The fare back was 220 baht, actually a bit cheaper than the 250 baht we paid on arrival. Now, having planned this trip entirely myself for the first time, I wanted to share a few takeaways for anyone thinking about doing the same. First, you really can book everything yourself, flights included. Book hotels through sites like Agoda, and local tours can be booked right at your hotel's activity desk or one of the many small agency stands around town. In fact, we found we could book tours after arriving. No need to lock everything in online ahead of time. That flexibility to decide things as you go is one of the real pleasures of independent travel. Second, compare ride-hailing apps. And know that the cheaper one can flip depending on the region. We saw a clear price gap between Grab and Bolt this trip, and interestingly, it ran the opposite direction from what I usually see back in Chiang Mai. Probably comes down to driver supply. Don't assume one app is always cheaper. Check both, wherever you are. Third, stay flexible with accommodation. We ended up bouncing between Blue Monkey, Centaura, and the beach resort, which let us experience several different styles of stay, and honestly made for better video content too. Don't feel locked into a fixed plan. Adapt to what you find on the ground. Fourth, compare hotel prices across multiple channels. Checking Agoda, the hotel's own website, and asking directly at the front desk can turn up real differences. At Centaura, walking up and asking in person actually beat Agoda's listed price. We got a room with breakfast for 1,500 baht. Also worth noting, we traveled in August, rainy season, and it seemed like Ao Nang hotel prices, normally pricier than Krabi Town, had dropped to roughly the same level, making it something of a hidden bargain season. Prices in Ao Nang may run higher at other times of year, so this could vary by season. Fifth, don't stress too much about rainy season weather. August in Krabi is officially rainy season, with light rain and occasional thunderstorms expected, But in practice, we managed to do every planned activity pretty much on schedule. If anything, the low season meant fewer tourists everywhere. Beaches and tours alike felt pleasantly uncrowded. Lower hotel prices and smaller crowds are real upsides, so it's probably not something to worry about as much as you'd think.
On costs, the flight, booked through an agency, came to 10,250 baht round trip per person, but that includes a hefty agency markup. Booking directly yourself would likely run about 60% of that, somewhere around 6,000 baht per person. So next time, I'm booking flights myself. Hotels. Blue Monkey in Krabi Town came to roughly 9,267 baht per person for 6 nights, about 1,545 baht a night. Centara and the beach resort each came out to around 1,500 baht per person per night. Add in private tours, snorkeling, and meals, and the total isn't exactly cheap.
But compared to an all-inclusive package tour, the freedom and experience we got felt like real value. All told, the whole 6-night, 7-day trip came to about 32,000 baht per person. Put another way, with 30,000 baht, you can put together a genuinely rich, satisfying trip like this one. Sixth, a trip like this is a fantastic way to actually use the language you've been studying.
I've been learning both Thai and English through classes here, and this trip turned into real hands-on practice. Negotiating with taxi drivers, ordering at restaurants, booking tours, all situations that put living, breathing Thai to use in ways a textbook never can. It gave my motivation a real boost. If you're studying a language, travel is genuinely one of the best ways to put it into practice. Independent travel used to mean digging through guidebooks and doing a ton of legwork. But these days, with a smartphone and AI, you can get whatever information you need right when you need it. If you're planning a trip to Thailand, I genuinely encourage you to try planning it yourself at least once.
So, how was this trip to Krabi? Emerald green water, the fish we met while snorkeling, and my first real attempt at planning a trip solo? It was a packed, memorable week. Actually, going through the process myself gave me a real sense that next time, I could plan an even more efficient and even better itinerary. Now that I have a sense of the budget, I'd love to come back for another week or so and just take it slow next time. I'll keep sharing more about long-stay life in Chiang Mai and travel around Thailand, so if you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.